Hey y'all, welcome back to another solo episode of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. This is your girl, your host, Lianne, and I'm super excited to have this conversation, y'all. This is a topic that I've really been wanting to talk a lot more about. I've mentioned it previously in other episodes of the journey that I've been on when it comes to celibacy. Yes, we are having that conversation today, and I really want to just bring y'all in on my journey of completely removing sex from my life for the past 2 years. And I really want to talk about why, how, what I've learned while being on this journey of almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in March of this year that I have been completely celibate, not engaging in any adult activities, not dating, not seeing anyone, really just been super focused on Lianne and her personal development journey. And I have a blog post that I found. There's also a video that I found on TikTok that I'm going to share with y'all. You know how I always deal with these solo episodes. I always like to find like inspiration and different messaging to be a part of the conversation. And, this is just a topic that is very special to me. This is really the first time in my life, y'all, that I have ever gone on this celibacy journey. And it really wasn't something that I planned. A lot of y'all know, and if you're meeting me for the first time, I am a domestic violence survivor. And the 2-year anniversary of that whole situation is coming up. So my celibacy and my surviving domestic abuse, they're both hand in hand. That whole situation is what started this journey. Honestly, it's been a journey that has not been as difficult as it may be for others who have gone through this experience. For me, I knew I did not want to repeat the same cycles that I had done previously, even before that relationship. I've said it many, many times, y'all. Like, I've always been the type of person who had someone in their life in a romantic aspect. I've been dating or in a relationship since I was 14 years old, a freshman in high school. I'm turning 35 this year, y'all. So do the math. 20 fucking years of dating, of being in a relationship, of toxicity, and your girl is tired. She's tired, okay? We're doing like a hard stop, a hard reset in that whole situation because I was just out here just bugging out, right? I've talked about it before in other episodes as well. I'm very open with y'all when it comes to the type of person that I was when I was in these relationships or situationships. I was definitely, I was promiscuous. We're going to just call it what it was. I definitely had a couple of hoe phases in my lifetime in between the situations or the relationships that I was in. Y'all, when I think back to 2019, when I ended an 8.5 year long situationship, it was a very tumultuous ending. It was a very traumatic ending. 8.5 years when you're with someone on and off, of course, like we had our issues and our moments and our breakups and makeups and all that bullshit. But being with someone for that long and then them no longer being in your life, it was fucking traumatic. It was super traumatic for me. And it was like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on? Even though the relationship was definitely deteriorating for a while, and I ended up relocating to Florida, and that's how we officially ended for good. Permanently have not seen him, spoke to him since May of 2019. After a couple months of grieving and definitely in a depressive mode and just not really healing from that relationship, but thinking I was healing, I look back at it now and I definitely was running away from my problems and from the demise of that relationship. And I wholeheartedly believe that's why I relocated from my home state to Florida. And I didn't take the time to heal from that. I was by myself, single, for like 2 months after the ending of that relationship. And then once I got my own place and I was on my own for the first time in a really long time, and it was just like the hell was unleashed. She was a mess. I was on the apps. I was meeting people. I was giving myself away to a whole bunch of men who did not deserve that intimate part of me. Looking back at it now, definitely wish I didn't do what I did, but It's a part of my story. It's a part of my journey. It's a part of who I have turned into. During that whole year-long single, living my best life, that's when I ended up meeting my ex, the last one, who became physically abusive and almost killed me. I remember that relationship. I was in a very low vibrational time in my life when me and him connected. I remember I was talking to one guy before I met my ex. We were talking like maybe for 3 months, something like that, 2, 3 months. He ended up being a piece of shit too, that I ended up cutting him off. And then I met another guy before I met my ex, and we were talking for maybe like a month. And then he ended up being a felon and just lying, a lot of shit that was like just toxic. And I ended up cutting him off. And I remember he told me, he was like, I'm falling in love with you. I was like, whoa, what are you doing? And then I ended up cutting him off. Then I fucking met my ex. And then like 5 days after we met, he told me he was falling in love with me. And I was like, oh my God, I love you too. Lianne in 2020 was a fucking mess, y'all. I'm telling you. I just want to give her the biggest hug because she was so fucking broken. She was so broken. And I know people don't like to use that term. Bitch, I was broken. I was fucking broken. And I was tired. And I was just tired of like dating or sleeping with these men and thinking that it was going to turn into something beautiful, and it really wasn't. It was just solely focused on that, the act of being sexually compatible with someone. I just remember like during that time in 2019 to 2020 before I met my ex, I was very loose with how I was moving around. And there's just certain situations that I can remember, what the fuck was I doing? Man, there was one time that I met this guy off of an app. I'm going to be so honest and real with y'all, but I tell y'all everything. I met him off of an app. That's where I was meeting all these people. I was on Tinder. I was on Plenty of Fish. I was on Hinge. I was on all the fucking apps, just wilding out because I didn't want to be alone, right? Fucking lonely. And I'm living on my own. I want to fucking meet people. I remember there was this one guy that I met. Literally, it was a booty call. We met on the app. I was like, hey, come over. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Whatever happened, happened. And then I kicked him out. Never saw him again. And that was just like the cycle that I was in. And it was very toxic. Thinking back at it now, it's like, girl, what were you doing? What were you doing? You were really putting yourself in some dangerous ass situations. Like, you don't fucking know these people. You're letting these strangers into your home, into your body, into the most intimate part of you. And they don't fucking deserve it. I share this with y'all because I know there's people out there that can definitely relate to my situations. Whether you're a guy or girl, we've definitely had our phases in our lives and we've been very promiscuous and just not attracting the best type of people. And I realize now that is why I attracted my last relationship and why it became so volatile and ultimately changed my complete outlook in life, especially with how it ended. And with that relationship that I was in, it was very much lust driven. Looking back at it now, I don't think I was really in love with him. I was infatuated with him and I was obsessed with the dick. It was probably the best that I've ever had in my life. It was like an addiction, y'all, for real. It was like a fucking addiction. But obviously in the beginning, when you meet someone that you're very attracted to and the feelings of lust and all that, it's very intense. That's all you want to fucking do. And I think that's what our relationship was really created off of, that foundation of not really getting to know this motherfucker for who he really was. And he turned out to be a complete fucking asshole and piece of shit person. And we know how it ended. And my mind and my judgment was so clouded because of that. And I know a lot of y'all ladies especially can feel me. We tend to stay in these toxic ass situations for much more longer than we should because, oh my God, the sex is so good. And it's just like, now, the woman that I am today, I will never be dickmatized ever again in my life. I won't. I promise you I won't. It's because of me taking this time to be celibate, the clarity that I have gained and being able to reflect back on the woman that I was, not even the woman, I'm going to say the girl that I was, because I was very immature, very fucking immature. I've just learned so much about myself. And that brings me to this blog post that I found. It is makeitgrateful.com and it's called 6 Health Benefits of Being Celibate, written by Julie Sprinkles. And this is back in 2019, right in the middle of my whole face. October of 2019. I left my ex-boyfriend, the 8.5-year long relationship, in May of 2019. And then I ended up meeting my last relationship in April of 2020. So it was almost a full year of me just wilding out, y'all. It was crazy. They talk about in this article, they talk to some sex and health experts who let you know what are the benefits of being celibate. So we're going to talk about it. So number 1, like I just said, it gives you more mental focus and clarity. Y'all, I'm telling you, when you're not distracted by penis or vagina, it'll change your fucking life. I swear on everything. Sex is so complicated. It's such an intimate act between two souls, two beings, whether you're heterosexual, homosexual, whatever you're into, live your best life, bro or sis. But it really clouds your fucking judgment, especially in the beginning of a relationship. Now, I told y'all, I was literally clouded by that with my last relationship. And I did not see what was really in front of me. I was just so focused on spending time with him and being around him and kissing on him and having sex with him and doing all these things. But the red flags were like, girl, this ain't it. You know, I learned my lesson the hard way, but I'm grateful for it. Sex is great, but thinking about it all the time can easily cloud your judgment and inhibit logical and clear thinking. The common saying, thinking with your little head instead of your big head, demonstrates this issue. Sex is an incredibly complicated and deep act that affects people's emotional state, brain chemistry, and hormones. Abstaining from sex can help people who are looking to make more logical judgments in their lives or to think more clearly. Hello, the experts are saying everything that I just said. I skimmed through this. I didn't really read it, word for word. But y'all, I highly recommend that every single person, whether you're a man or a woman or non-binary, however you want to identify yourself, y'all need to take some time in between your seasons of relationships and dating and singleness. Take some time to just chill and put that shit on the back burner. Because I'm telling you, the way that your mind just opens up to so many things, it's crazy. And it's crazy how it's really not crazy, but society is so focused on that. Like, you see it on TV and music videos, movies, magazines, everything is so fucking sex driven. And for some people, it's definitely harder for others to be on this journey, especially if you're living on your own, you ain't got no kids, you're young, you're beautiful, you're dating, it's fucking hard. Absolutely, don't get me wrong, but I think everyone needs to have a season of just we're not fucking doing it. We're not going to think with that head as opposed to this one. Just really get to know ourselves on a much more intimate and deeper level. I truly believe you can only do that by yourself when you take that time to really be intentional and figure out who the fuck you are without the distraction of someone else in your life. Perfect segue to part 2. It says it allows you to build a more meaningful relationship foundation. And speaking of relationships, being celibate while in a relationship can strengthen it. When getting into a new relationship, sex can easily cloud your perception of your new partner because of oxytocin release, aka the love chemical in the brain. Like I told y'all, when I met my ex, I met him April 28th, 2020. I don't remember what day of the week that was, but the very next day we had sex. And I remember telling myself, I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do what I was doing before with these other men. I was really attracted to this person and I was really interested in getting to know him, but my girl down there just took over. It was just like, let's give it up, sis. Let's give it up. Let's lock it in. Bad idea, y'all. Bad fucking idea. Yeah, it says this chemical is released, but it's slowed after about 6 months, which is why why the vast majority of relationships either end or begin to develop issues at this time. That's super interesting. I remember when I was in the 8.5 year long situationship. I don't even like calling it a relationship because it was so fucking toxic. I remember towards the end of our relationship when we were having a lot of issues, there would be like dry spells. I think one time we went maybe like, I don't know, like 3 to 6 months without being intimate at all. And granted, we never lived together. I was living at home with my family. He was living at home with his mom. And we never really had the opportunity to be as intimate as we wanted to. But yeah, there was definitely some moments when we just weren't feeling each other. And I don't know if like he was getting it on the side. I know I wasn't because I was mostly committed in that relationship. There were moments where I did stray. That's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I truly believe that was definitely a part of the demise of our relationship. And I don't know, that shit was just fucking crazy. But I'm glad that relationship fucking ended because he's toxic. Fuck him. Part 3. It says, being celibate exemplifies a type of consensual sex life. Let's see what this is about. What's also interesting to note is that not being celibate and being sex positive are not mutually exclusive. The important element here is that the celibate person has chosen to be celibate. Sex positive doesn't mean that everyone is having a ton of sex. It means that each person should be able to create the consensual sex life that's right for them, unimpeded by outside restrictions, which includes the option of celibacy. I have chosen to be celibate. I definitely could have jumped back to the vicious cycle that I was used to for the majority of my adult life of just rotating one person to the next and to the next and to the next. But I just knew after dealing with a life-changing event of almost losing my life at the hands of my ex-partner, I was not in the state of mind to be like, you know what, fuck him. I'm just gonna go and find somebody else because I don't want to heal from this shit. Like, I'm just gonna be this savage out here and fuck all these men. They ain't shit. Da-da-da-da-da. Fuck love. We weren't doing that this time. I really got to the point that I was tired of my own shit and started taking accountability and looking in the mirror and being like, something about you, sis, that you got to work on. Fortunately, and also unfortunately, it took that really big moment for me to open up my beautiful brown eyes and be like, something's got to change. Because clearly there's something about Lianne that I'm not healing from, and allowing these type of men and this type of toxicity in my life and being so focused on like, if I just give my body to this person, maybe they'll love me a little more. Maybe they'll want to spend more time with me or do all these things for me. Let me just throw my vagina at them and that'll fix everything. No, sis. No. So I'm very proud of the decision that I've made, and I've been very intentional, and I've really gotten to know myself on such an intimate level. Celibacy the definition is different for everyone. For me personally, I'm 100% celibate, meaning no sex, obviously, no dating, no kissing, no masturbation, like nothing. Nothing at all for almost 2 years. Yeah, it's crazy, right? When some people hear that, it's like, girl, you don't even masturbate? I don't, you guys, I don't. And I'm happy. Like, that's the thing. Like, some people, especially society, is like, damn, you don't miss it? You don't miss that feeling? Of course. Absolutely. It's a fucking beautiful feeling. It's great. Like it said, the fucking love hormone fucking goes off. It's fan-fucking-tastic. But it's not a priority for me right now. The priority in my life right now is my healing, my relationship with myself. It's learning what it means to truly, truly have self-love and self-respect and value and worth and confidence and trust and all of these things that have been put on the back burner for so long, for the majority of my adult life, even in my teens too. I didn't know what any of that meant because I was so distracted by the relationships and the situationships that I was in. I always had someone in my life. Always. This is the first time in my life at my big age, y'all. I'm gonna be 35 in September of this year. For the past almost 2 years, this is the first time that I've truly been single by myself. myself. No dating, no distractions, nothing. And I remember, y'all, when I first came home from Florida after escaping my ex, there were a couple of guys that I used to mess around with before I moved out of my home state to Florida that I tried to like slide back in, and I knew God was protecting me, and they never really responded to my request to like start conversing again. And I just let it go because eventually I realized, nah, sis, we're not doing it. Like, you're not ready. And I remember I had downloaded a couple of dating apps too when I came back. I want to say a couple of months afterwards. I don't really remember, but I remember I got on Facebook dating. Fucking trash. So ghetto. 0 stars. Do not recommend. I met a couple of guys, not in person, but just like talking and conversing, texting, whatever. Eventually, it just died off because I was like, girl, you're not in the right headspace. You literally almost died. My good sis, your life was almost taken away from you. You ain't got no business being out here trying to date, trying to find a distraction. Like, no, we're not doing that. So I deleted all of them. I shared sometime last year, one of the dudes that I talked to for like a couple of weeks and then he ghosted me. He ended up reaching out to me and being like, hey, remember me? And no, I don't, sir. I know exactly who the fuck he was, but I texted him back. I'm like, sorry, I don't know who you are. Who's this man? That meme from Keke Palmer, she's like, sorry to this man. Wait, I gotta find that so I don't butcher it. I gotta find that. That shit was so good. This was me when he texted me.
Hell is... Ooh, y'all are really testing me on some stuff that I hate to say it. I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is. I mean, he could be walking down the street. I wouldn't know a thing. Sorry to this man.
Is she telling the truth about that?
That's true.
I'm dead. That was legit me, yo. I knew exactly who the fuck he was, but no. See, and that's what happens when you take your motherfucking time to be single. Your standards are raised. And I knew, bitch, you decided to ghost me. First of all, he wasn't even that fucking cute because he sent me a picture of who he was because I pretended I didn't know. So I was like, can you send me a picture? Because I don't know who the fuck you are. And so I was like, the woman that I am now does not find you attractive at all. Sorry to this man. That just eventually died out and I never heard from him again. I never even had his phone number saved. No, you decided to ghost me. You decided to completely fall off the face of the earth. You fucking unfollowed me on Instagram. And now because you're bored or because your situations or whatever the fuck you were dealing with didn't work out, now you want to try and spin the block? Sorry to this man. It's not happening. Thank you, next. And that is the power of celibacy, y'all. That's what I'm saying. Like, yo, especially to my women, y'all don't understand the power that you have between your legs. Motherfuckers be putting the pussy on the pedestal. Pussy on the pedestal? What does that mean?
For a second, let me just say, you are putting the pussy up on this pedestal. You're just building the pussy up, man.
What are you even talking about? Building the pussy up? What does that mean?
You making the pussy into this great big Greek goddess named Pussaliah, and what you're doing is you're psyching yourself into thinking it's some impossible feat.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm putting the pussy up on a pedestal.
Right.
That's it. It's Pussaliah, right?
Look where you going.
I don't want to say the word anymore.
Say what word?
Pussy.
It's so true. Like, we are so powerful and we are in control of our situations for the most part. It is up to you. You gotta set that standard, sis. Stop letting these motherfuckers think that they could just play with you and play with your time and make you feel like you're a second thought, like you're not top priority. Get the fuck out of here. Absolutely not. When I do decide to start dating again, it's gonna be a whole new woman out in these streets. And y'all are gonna have to come correct. If not, bye. You understand what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here. We're not tolerating any disrespect. We're not tolerating any lying or manipulation or cheating or abuse or orange flags. We're not. We are not, because we know who the fuck we are and we know what we bring to our own table. Not what I bring to your table. No, motherfucker. I'm good by myself. You understand what I'm saying? We're whole on our own, and you are just a guest. And if I don't like your company, if I don't like your energy, if your vibe is off, if you make me feel cringe or give me the ick, you have to fucking go. You're gonna stop playing with my motherfucking time, okay? And that brings me to point number 4 of this blog post of the health benefits of celibacy. Celibacy can promote positive self-esteem and self-care. Real talk. Sex can complicate everything. I've been saying this, y'all. Having one or more sexual partners can have a myriad effect on a person's well-being, some more desirable than others. Partners can affect one's finances, mental health, ability to make one's own choices. For some people, a journey toward optimal well-being will include taking at least some time away from these kinds of connections. Told y'all, going on 2 years. There may be a positive self-esteem implications of taking oneself off the market too, in the sense that some people measure their self-worth partly according to how successfully they can attract partners or sexual interest. Y'all, the self-worth, I mean, your girl is out here glowing, okay? And it's not because of a man, it's because of me. It's because of the work that I've been doing. I'm a bad bitch on my own. Like, do you understand? Do you understand the assignment? Because I know I am. A+ student, front of the class. I've said it so many times, y'all. Taking the time to be alone is the opportunity for you to really get to know who the fuck you are on your own. You get to ask yourself these questions. You get to date yourself. You get to do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do. You don't have to worry about their schedule or if they ain't got it and you got to pay for it. It's so nice being alone. I don't know why I loathed it for so long. I don't know why I was afraid of it for so long. Right now, my company that I keep with myself, it's like a fucking 10 out of 10. It's a 20 out of 10, y'all. It is amazing. I'm walking to the beat of my own drum. I don't have to answer to nobody. Nobody is fucking stressing me out or making me cry or having me question myself if I'm doing enough. I'm doing just fucking fine, y'all. I wholeheartedly am falling so deeply in love with myself. And yes, while I'm portraying this bad bitch energy and this confidence, which is definitely a part of me, there are instances where I do get lonely or I do still have these self-confidence issues that I'm healing through because it's been a journey for me. I never knew what it meant to truly love myself. And this season that I'm in, I'm just enjoying it so fucking much. I'm starting to like put myself back out there when it comes to like being social and hanging out with girlfriends and going to events. Next week, I'm going to a women's empowerment brunch where I'm going to be a guest speaker. My first ever in-person speaking event. I'm so nervous, but I'm so fucking excited at the same time. Putting myself out there, I'm meeting amazing people. I'm connecting, I'm growing my brand. My podcast is doing amazing. I'm booked with guests until July. My episodes are scheduled to release until the middle of July. Like, not everything needs to be centered around a fucking relationship with somebody. I'm not going to sleep at night worried about if somebody's cheating on me. Like, that is the ultimate peace, y'all. And I really want that for everyone. Like, please embrace this time to be alone. You don't need someone in your life to make you happy. You have to do that for yourself, sis or bro. Whoever is receiving this message, I really, really hope it's hitting for you. And this is not me like promoting celibacy and like, oh, you should be celibate. This is your journey, sis. Do whatever makes you happy. But I know for me, the fucking clarity that I've gotten, the amount of self-esteem and just value and my standards just rising up, I wouldn't be able to do that if I had those distractions in my life that I had before. You understand what I'm saying? So like, it is okay. And I know it's very taboo. This is a very taboo topic that people don't like to talk about. Society's like, oh, you're celibate? Oh, you're just gonna be lonely and miserable and single and a crazy cat lady with like a million cats. Fuck you, okay? You don't know my story. You don't know my journey. You don't know what I've gone through. Fuck your judgments and keep it moving. You understand what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it's your journey. It's your story. It's your life. It's you. We spend the most times with ourselves out of any fucking relationship that we have, not just romantic. Work, Y'all, we're at work more than we are at fucking home by ourselves. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, focus on that relationship. That's the one that is lacking the fucking most. That's why there's so many miserable, angry people in this world, sad, hurt people in this world, because they don't value themselves. And you really gain that value and that clarity when you take the time to really fucking be alone, okay? I'm gonna say it over and over again. Take the fucking time to be by yourself. Please. Grow the fuck up, okay? We're in our 30s now. Like, it's okay to be single and not have to have someone in your life every fucking day. Bitch, please, grow the fuck up. And I say that with the most love and respect, okay? But you need to grow the fuck up. Thanks. Okay, number 5, solo experiences have many of the perks of partnered sex. I don't know what this means. Let's see. There is a difference between having no sexual experiences of any kind, including masturbation, and having no partnered sex. While some of these perceived health benefits mentioned here are only related to partner sex, if your celibacy includes solo sexual experience, you're also getting many of the health benefits ascribed to sex. Like I said earlier, y'all, I'm 1000% celibate. I'm not partaking in any self-pleasure, any of that. It's not important to me right now. It's not a priority. It's not like, oh, I need to bust that nut. You understand what I'm saying? Sorry to be vulgar. Sorry, not sorry. I don't need it. It's not like I'm longing for it. It's a beautiful experience, whether it's solo or with someone else or multiple people, if that's what you're into. It's not my vibe, but it's just something that, like I said, it's not a priority to me right now. And I'm perfectly okay. I promise y'all, I'm doing just fine. Last one. Being celibate for a time, parentheses, can increase your enjoyment. So let's say your celibacy is just temporary, whether it's self-imposed or sort of you just stumbled into it. Should you decide at some point you would like to move forward toward an active sex life, your time being celibate could have a rather positive effect. Taking a break from sex helps restore your enjoyment of the act, as well as your appreciation of all your non-sexual and pre-sexual interactions. Having sex whenever your desire rises above, say, a 3 out of 10 is like eating an entire meal whenever your hunger rises above a 3 out of 10. Not only do you get bloated, but you lose your capacity to savor the meal. It becomes harder and harder to really enjoy each bite as a sensual experience. Basically, absence makes the heart, or whatever, grow fonder. Giving yourself some time to remember what it feels like to want sex and really savoring that feeling of desire will heighten your senses, make you more present, and boost your enjoyment of the entire experience from flirting to touching. Offering one final piece of advice for those transitioning toward a more sexual life: the longer you don't have sex, the more intense your enjoyment will be when or if you do. I mean, I'm so excited for when I do decide to put myself out there. Not that I am actively, and in no time soon will that be a priority in my life. But y'all, it just goes to show you, like, it's like when you're in a relationship, especially a long distance relationship, kudos to y'all who do that. I tried it before. It doesn't work for me. Maybe this new person that I am would be into it, but that's another conversation for another day. But it's like when you're apart from that special someone for a long period of time, and then you guys come together finally, that feeling. It's like the butterflies in your stomach, the anticipation of coming to see them or them coming to see you. And then when you guys finally connect, it's always like fireworks and like, oh my God, I missed you. And you're just touching and kissing and hugging and you're having fun. And like, you do that shit every day. It gets boring. It gets boring after a while. It gets fucking predictable. Like, we're human beings. Yes, we are creatures of habit, but something as intimate as sex over and over and over, saying it's like, that's why motherfuckers be cheating. That's why motherfuckers be finding someone else, because it's like, damn, I already know what position she's gonna be in. I already know how long it's gonna take for her to get there. I already know, like, she about to hop in the shower real quick, and then she's gonna brush her teeth, and then she's gonna put on the lingerie, and then she's gonna put on perfume, and then she's gonna lay down in bed, and then, you know what I'm saying? Like, it comes like so repetitive, especially in long-term relationships. That's why you gotta keep it spicy. You gotta like role play, and you gotta like just do shit to make it exciting. And sometimes you need those breaks in between, because then when y'all come back together, it's like fireworks and like, oh yeah, daddy. You know what I'm saying? I'm super excited for when I do decide to put myself back out there. But Let me just say this, y'all. I'm going to be very intentional when it comes to giving up the cookie. What we're not going to do is immediately meet someone organically because your girl is off the apps. We are not going back on the apps. That's a whole nother conversation for another day. 0 out of 10 for me. I feel like it's very superficial and very judgy, like you're just basically meeting someone because you think they look good and you want to fuck. Yes, there's been success stories and people who have got married and relationships, but for me, no thanks. We're not doing that. So I want to meet someone organically, like going to the grocery store or at the gym or, going to the movies or dinner by myself or on vacation. Like I want the shit that you see in the movies, right? And I'm being very intentional about how I'm going to show up when I do decide to start dating. And it's not going to be focused on that. I'm going to let them know upfront, I am celibate. I'm not here for that. If that's what you are expecting out of me, you can go right now because I'm trying to build I'm trying to have this relationship be my last. And I'm trying to have a relationship that's built on a strong foundation. And a relationship that's built solely around sex, for me, has been very tumultuous and has just not worked out for me. We're not doing that. You need to earn what I got in between my legs because it's fucking great. But you're not going to know about that until I feel like you deserve it. And you're going to prove to me, and you're going to show me that you're actually interested in me for who I am as a person and not what I got going on down there. Period. Yeah, it's probably going to be a challenge because in today's society, like I said before, we're very sex driven and very like motherfuckers just want to fuck all the time. You know what I'm saying? But like me being on this journey of celibacy, it's really taught me so much about my value and my worth and what I want in my future. And I want a partner who fucking gets it. Shit, if I find someone that he's celibate too, and we both on this personal development journey and we're both like healing and thriving and taking our times to really get to know ourselves, like where he at? Let's go. But not right away. You understand what I'm saying? Not right away. Oh, and then there's this TikTok video. I'm going to start wrapping up this episode, but this TikTok video that I found, y'all know my For You page is so fucking lit. It's so good. So her name is Kiana LaRoe on TikTok, and she put up this video. I don't know if this is a recent video, if she's still in her season of celibacy, but she put up this video talking about 3 things she wished she knew before starting her journey to celibacy. Fucking love this video so much. So I want y'all to listen.
I wish I knew before I went celibate. Number 1, people are gonna assume you're lying and say that you're not really celibate. She's not really going that long without it because all y'all be doing is hunching with your fast ass. I can go without it. I know people that have gone decades, maybe a decade without it. But I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be so many people that negate or try to argue that you're not really on that journey because they could never be on it. Number 2, before you go celibate, you're gonna think that you could never go that long without it. I feel like going celibate is easier than dieting. I can cut that out before I cut out bread. I'm telling you right now, it's easier than cutting out bread. I had a harder time doing the keto diet than I did being celibate. Number 3, people are gonna tell you that you're gonna die alone. People think that when a woman is starting to put her standards first, that she is now a man hater. I love men, don't get me wrong. But as a person, as a woman, I know that I have to think about me first because 9 times out of 10, damn near every man I have ever met put his standards first. But it's a problem when I do it. Baby, when I tell you, me putting my standards first and being celibate does not make me a man hater, okay?
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. You understand what I'm saying? Luckily for me, now I'm talking about it in like a lot more detail. So I don't know what kind of feedback I'm going to get, but for me, in the instances that I have shared me being celibate, I have not gotten that feedback from people in my life or, even strangers on the internet being like, oh, you're not really celibate. Like I haven't had any of that negative kind of feedback, which I'm grateful for. But I know a lot of people who are on this journey do have that feedback. They're like, oh, bitch, you ain't gonna last too long. Like, if you got those kind of people in your life, they gotta go. You want nothing but supportive fucking people who understand why it is you're doing what you're doing. You understand what I'm saying? So get rid of the fucking haters and the naysayers and the bitter bitches because we ain't got time for that in 2023 and beyond. But for me, it's been so much easier than I thought. And like she said, I love like being on a keto diet is harder than being celibate. It's so fucking true. Like, y'all, I fucking love bread, okay? I talked about it before. I had weight loss surgery 3.5 months ago. Life-changing. I'm down almost 60 pounds. Your girl is feeling and looking amazing. But like dieting and exercise is harder for me than having sex. For me, it's like, yo, I could probably go a decade and I'll be good. I'm about a decade. I don't know. No shade. No tea, no shade to anyone who's gone that far. Like, I commend you. Like, you are out. Like, you are a strong bitch. You are a strong fucking woman. But, going on 2 years and I'm okay. I'm good. I'm happy. I just know who the fuck I am. And my standards are so high. And I'm just like, get your dirty ass away from me. Y'all see that resting bitch face? Like, it's the Virgo in me. The Virgo and the Jersey in me. Don't fuck with me. Because I'm going to tell you about yourself real quick, okay? But yeah, y'all, so that's my celibacy episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope you got something that you could take away from it. I hope maybe it even sparks an interest in you. If you feel like you've been down the road that I was on and you were just like, we need a hard reset. Do your research. Talk to people. Hit me up too. Like, yo, I'm an open book. I tell y'all everything. And I would love to be able to support you on your own journey. I am starting a relationship coaching business soon. And if you're loving my vibe and you want that one-on-one support to help you heal from those toxic relationships that you have been in or currently find yourself in, y'all, I've been there. I've been there, sis, and I've been able to heal from a lot of my shit. Never gonna say that I'm completely healed because anyone who promotes that, it's fucking bullshit. Healing is a never ending journey and you're always gonna have shit that you gotta heal and work on, okay? But I would love to be here to support you. So slide in my DMs, hit me up on Instagram. That's my number one home base. You can DM me the word ready and I can add you to my wait list. So that way, when my relationship coaching business goes live, you'll be the first to know that I'm taking clients and I'm ready to serve you and I'm here to do this work. I want to help you really find that inner bad bitch that's inside of all of us because we all have her in us. And some people just need a little bit of guidance. So I'm here to help y'all. I'm here to help you guys. I love you so much. Thank you for tuning in. This was so fun. I actually recorded this episode yesterday and it was only a half hour long. And I was like, I really didn't say everything that I wanted to say. And I didn't really have like the spice and the sazon and the seasoning that I wanted. So let's re-record it. Definitely recommend y'all doing that. Especially for my podcasters out there. Like, it's okay to do a couple of tries before you get it right. And yeah, y'all, thank you so much for tuning in, for following me every single week, for listening and subscribing and downloading and all of the things. Like, I appreciate y'all so fucking much. Like, it's because of y'all, the listeners, that you keep me motivated to continue creating really meaningful, inspiring, motivational, educational content for y'all because I'm really just out here trying to help with what I've learned in my own life experiences. So if you're loving this episode and you're listening on Apple, please, y'all, leave a rating and review. That helps boost my show to new listeners. And it also gives me the motivation to keep going, keep creating content. You can also hit me up on my website, wutpodcast.com. Sign up for my newsletter, y'all. My newsletter is so amazing. You put your first, your last name, and your email. Beautiful little pop-up comes up when you go to my website. Sign up for my newsletter. You get a automatic welcome email. And then I'm gonna just talk to y'all when I feel like it because I am a one-woman show, so I'm not gonna spam you. Writing emails and doing all the shit behind the scenes takes a lot of energy and work out of me. So I promise you, I'm not going to spam you. I'm only going to talk to you when I feel like it. But you won't know unless you're subscribed. So please subscribe to my newsletter. And hey to everyone watching on YouTube, please subscribe, comment, share this video with anyone who you feel can resonate with it. Brand new episodes drop every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Solo episodes drop on Fridays at the same time. Some Fridays, not every Friday, because like I said, I'm a one-woman show. This is a lot of work. And you can listen to my podcast, Watch Us Thrive, on all platforms: Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Stitcher, wherever the fuck you like to listen to, I'm there. Okay, so make sure you subscribe, follow, comment, like, share every Tuesday, 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all so much. Thank you for being here. Until next time, this is your girl Lianne of the Watch Us Thrive podcast. I'm sending you all the love, light, and healing. Bye.